Back in 2017, alongside the release of the Switch, came a game that revolutionized the open world genre. Diverting from the tried and true formula of objective marker-driven exploration, this game changed the way we explore an open world. It fostered a sense of true wonder, and to this day, it's still my favorite game of all time. This game, of course, is The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. Now, over 6 years later, the direct sequel has been released. In this video, I want to give a brief gameplay overview and my own first impressions. And don't worry, I won't spoil any of the story, I'll only show gameplay from the early sections. Is this game a soulless rehash of its predecessor, or does it strive to be different? Well, let's find out. I want to start off by addressing the elephant in the room, an issue I saw a lot of people have with the game: the reused open world from Breath of the Wild. Has enough been changed to keep it fresh and exciting to explore? Well, so far yes, but kind of no. Let me explain. As you've probably seen from the trailers, there are new sky islands and caves to explore. All of these are completely new places to visit, yes, but so far I feel as though the overworld isn't different enough to feel fresh or new. Don't get me wrong, there are a lot of new things to see and places to visit, not to mention a lot more quests. But in terms of exploring the terrain of Hyrule, much has been left the same. This criticism I have, though, is greatly offset by the amount of new sky islands and caves there are. Those feel new and make exploring Hyrule again worth it. Now let's talk about the new abilities. Surprisingly, all of the previous runes are now gone and replaced with new powers. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of miss using the remote bomb or stasis from the last game, but the replacement powers are actually really cool. First off, there's the fuse ability that lets you fuse weapons, shields, and arrows with other weapons or items, increasing damage output, reach, durability, and sometimes even adding a special ability. Attach a Keese eyeball to an arrow and it becomes a homing arrow. Attach a flamethrower to a shield and it'll spit out fire when you guard. Attach a bomb to your sword and blow yourself up, I guess. It's a really creative and cool mechanic, and honestly, I'm still trying out different combinations to see which ones work best. On that note, weapon durability also seems a lot better balanced. I haven't ran out of any weapons yet, and I've been going after every enemy encounter that I could. Ultra Hand is another insane ability which lets us fuse objects in the world together. You can move objects around like magnesis while also being able to rotate them. You can pick up any dynamic object, not just metal, and hit A to attach them to another object. And this ability, of course, enables us to build whatever we like. Mainly, I've been making bridges and vehicles that are propelled using the new Zonai technology. Zonai technology are battery-powered objects that we can find throughout the world, and you can also purchase them from this gumball machine-looking thing. Things like rockets, fans, and flamethrowers can be found and fused to whatever you like. Now, I'll be honest, this whole build-your-own-vehicle idea can get pretty gimmicky. Just look at Banjo-Kazooie nuts and bolts. But of course, Nintendo has added a lot of challenges that require us to get incredibly creative when devising a solution. The wings in particular are my favorite, with one caveat. Essentially, the wings let you stand on them whilst they glide around, and you can control it by moving. I've tried attaching rockets to these wings and had a ton of fun flying through Hyrule until I realized that the wings only last a set time in the air before disappearing. Like, what the hell? That kind of goes against the freedom that this game should have, right? There's also a battery meter now that controls how much we can use this technology, so fans, rockets, and flamethrowers can only be used a certain time before needing to wait for a recharge. The recall ability lets us rewind time for certain objects, and yeah, that's pretty self-explanatory. There are these random falling rocks from the sky we can use recall on to get high up, which aids traversal, and there are a lot of puzzles that require recall, but other than that, it's pretty simple, and honestly, I kind of preferred stasis. Ascend, again, is pretty simple. If there's a flat ceiling above you, chances are you can use Ascend to no-clip through the top of whatever structure or mountain you're in. Again, pretty self-explanatory, and it's used in a couple puzzles. Although I wouldn't really call them puzzles, as it's incredibly obvious when you should use Ascend. And it does make traversal that much easier and eliminates the need to climb everything, which is nice. Shrines are back and reskinned, but this time, of course, they take advantage of the new abilities that we have. There are some different combat-focused shrines, which is nice to see, but so far I haven't really done enough to make a good judgment on these new shrines. What I will say is that the shrines that I have done present a nice small challenge that focuses on utilizing Link's skill set to get through, just like the last game. Towers are gone, but we still have to rediscover the map by visiting these buildings that shoot us up into the sky to scan the world. Of course, it's still the same concept. Visit a building, press A, and get a fragment of the map. And this is as good a time as any to talk about the new skydiving mechanic, which I absolutely love. Basically, pressing right bumper while falling or gliding through the sky puts us into a skydiving freefall. Movement is limited while skydiving, but you can hold right bumper to accelerate Link's freefall. This mechanic just feels so perfect and liberating for some reason. I love it. And one last thing I gotta say is that traditional dungeons are back, baby. Let's go. I haven't completed one yet, but they're here and that's awesome. Anyway, I don't want to spoil too much. This is just a first impression, but what I want to say is that it's obvious that this game is a direct sequel, but there's enough new and different ideas here that it reinvigorates the sense of wonder and intrigue that Breath of the Wild had. It's definitely worth its marked up cost, and I know that this will be my life now for the next month or so. That's all I really have to talk about today, but definitely go get this game right now, and definitely like this video and subscribe. Alright, take it easy.